Welcome to the Cult of Cinema. I'm Aaron, and there's a lot of box sets here. In actuality, when I took the picture and put it on Twitter or Instagram, whichever one you saw it on, that's before I put everything down here. There's actually more here than was initially listed in the on the picture. So hi there. For the person that's there and is not saying anything, hello, welcome to the Cult of Cinema, and hopefully we're going to have a few people here tonight, and we are going to look into some box sets, or some people are going to disappear. This is weird. Okay, because I have a few different things to show. So first off, I'll show the one that I got today, because I did receive something in the mail today, and I'm actually kind of excited, but I'm not sure how excited some of you guys are going to be. But it's kind of my thing. It's kind of my bag. Hey there, Chris. Hey, Scholar. Nice to see some people in here. So I got something today, plus I got we're doing another collection video. So Chris, you're gonna like this. And I have done I got everything here from like movies to TV shows, like some big box sets and stuff. And there's a reason I was inspired to do that today. And that is because I received this. So you guys know I'm a huge fan of this show right here, the Power Rangers and all the Super Sentai that the show is based on. I'm a huge Takatsu fan, but my video is not a Takatsu video today. Hey there, George. I do want to keep this here sticker. So, if you're ever getting this stuff, hey there, Italian Dan, and you're looking online, right? One of the things I would say is just be sure, and especially if you're going to check on eBay or something like that, because what you want to make sure of, and I had to make sure of, hey there, Richard, is that you get an official edition, because there'd be bootlegs going out about there. So you want to make sure that this, for instance, is on. I am going to talk with the Vinegar Syndrome announcement, the big one actually, which is VSU, after we do this. So if you stick around and you're a Vinegar Syndrome fan, we are going to talk about VSU and what we think that could be at the after the box set portion of this video. Or we might talk about it halfway in between. You don't know, so you got to stay. It's gonna keep you on suspense, wondering. So this here is the yellow sticker, which by the way should be on the front of the box set. Now, I often get asked, does it bother me when something like this happens? I haven't checked the Paramount announcement, so I'll check that out too as well, Chris. So yeah, a little bit, but as long as the discs are okay in here, I'm good. I'm cool. So for people that don't watch, hey there, or don't know what this is, and we will get into the Paramount and Vinegar Syndrome announcements as well, so especially VSU. Cinematech, hey, these are probably my favorite run. Hey, Danuch, welcome, man. My favorite run of shows across the, hey there, JR, across the Power Rangers line. Hey, everybody. Because for those that don't know, I thought about that, Vinegar Syndrome University. There's a couple things that it could be, and I'll get into it. Somebody asked if they thought it was going to be a streaming service, and I don't think so. It's Morphin Time. So this is SPD, which is by some considered to be the best of the Power Rangers shows, especially of the Disney era. And this is the longest set out of all the sets in this collection. This is a 5-disc set. It runs 38 episodes long. Marco, yeah, I gotta say, I was iffy when I got this, the bundle about the shirt, but I'm actually loving it. Next up is probably the least liked out of all the original Power Rangers series, and that is Mystic Force. That's the one where they got capes and they use magic, which I didn't mind. There were some good elements to this. Lost Galaxy is amazing. Lost Galaxy, by the way, Chris, is one of the most underrated seasons of Power Rangers, in my humble opinion. Not so humble opinion. I don't have a humble opinion. Okay, no, I said Mystic Force was the least liked. Here's the least liked season of Power Rangers throughout the first 17 seasons, and that is Operation Overdrive. So I didn't mind it. It was okay. Not their best work, but it does have Once a Ranger, which is a big anniversary episode. So there's that. Next up is a really good season, which is Jungle Fury. And if you have not seen it, look at those suits. They're kind of cool. That one's iffier, but the rest are pretty cool. And last but not least is the greatest season of Power Rangers, in my opinion, right up there with Lost Galaxy, is RPM. I love RPM. It's very different. If you've ever only seen like early Power Rangers and you watch this, you're going to be shocked by how unique and different this is to the other seasons. It's very, very different. It's very like T2 in a way. Now, one of the neat things about collecting these sets here is that this here is exclusive to the set. So there's the bonus features disc that's exclusive to the set. You see some of the villains here. And more of them on the back. Let you see what the features are. And it's like some decent stuff, like some Rangers on set, which is basically Ranger Tails. And you get some like collect them all. Actually, one of the guys, there's a YouTuber on here, like I forget his name, and he has invaluable videos when it comes to collecting this type of stuff. He actually, by the time they went to do the fourth season set of these, he's on the collect them all featurette, which is kind of cool. So it's going to be interesting. And each of them, much like the Ultraman sets that came out from Shout Factory, has these here booklets. All right, there we go. So not sure what happened there. My internet is actually faster than it used to be, but I had this reconnection issue, and it could be due to the fact that we're going to be having some thunder and lightning. We had some last night too, by the way. Anyway, this is the set, the disc, I'll get it right. This is the booklet. Hey, they're missing. And it's actually pretty cool. I actually look how cute that girl. See, villains are cute in this one. It's SPD. Anyway, well, more than Power Rangers, we're going to be talking about Power Rangers, Vinegar Syndrome, box sets. So don't go, oh, Power Rangers, it's me, man. Especially, this is my baby. This really is my baby. But we have a lot to get into now. I have a ton of box sets here, like all kinds of stuff, movies, TV shows, that type of stuff. I have, so far with the Power Rangers, I've got the first set and the second set. That's the fourth set right there. I need 8 to 12, and I have 2 of the Super Sentai sets, so I need the other 10 of those, and I have to get then of course I got a couple Ultraman coming, so I'll be collecting that as well, because I'm trying to collect the Tokatsu. I just wish Kamen Rider was available as well, but it's not, unfortunately, available to get here in North America. All right, before I go any further, because I think a lot of you guys are interested in this, and because my Twitter handle is Mr. Vinegar Syndrome, let's talk. So VSU is coming. We know that there's the box set. We knew all the other stuff already. Like I'm pretty sure everybody knew that there was that there's going to be the. Oh, you didn't miss anything. Oh well, just the Power Ranger set so far. Hey there, Vince. Oh, with the black. Oh, nice. That's the. Is that when they did the Morphin seasons on their own? Like they did like 5 sets. Is that the first 5 seasons? Those were expensive too. They kind of remind me of the Voltron sets that they put out. Well, not they, but like another company put out. But there is a Vinegar Syndrome announced something right at the end of their newsletter. They told the regular stuff, that we know there's Forgotten Jolly set coming out. We know that there's slasher movies coming out from like September to November. That we already know. So most of the newsletter stuff we knew already. What we didn't know was what they said at the last, right at the end of it. And that something is kind of brings us back. Remember when VSA came around and everybody was wondering what VSA was, and somebody said Vinegar Screen Archives, Vinegar Cinema Archives, and we're like, oh, that sounds like a good name. That might be it, and it did turn out to be it. So VSU. What is Does anybody have any idea or what they think that VSU is going to be? Vinegar Syndrome announced right at the end of their later. They said, oh, by the way, VSU, and they didn't elaborate on that. Yeah, 70 Sleazy Giallo, Mexican Horror, Vinegar Syndrome, Vinegar Syndrome Underground. Do you think that's what it is? Do you think VSU is Vinegar Syndrome Underground? And if so, how? Vinegar Syndrome's pretty underground right now. So what exactly would they be like focusing on if it's if the word is underground? I like the name. I love the name of it. I don't think, Griff, that's going to be a streaming service, and I'll tell you why. Because Vinegar Syndrome, they've had a streaming service before. They had one called Exploitation.tv, and it was used to to fund some of their physical releases, but it didn't last very long. I don't think it'll be short films. I think that we're looking at something different here. But you thought the ad looked like they were focusing on nudity. Well, there's nudity in a lot of their films, but there's nudity in a lot of films anyway. But Vinegar Syndrome Underground, Vinegar Syndrome University, somebody else said, it'll be interesting to see how they're going to take it. I don't think it's going to be adult titles. I mean, they've already got their Peak-O-Ramas, they got their adult titles. So we'll get something, but I don't think adult is going to be like the focus here. I think it's going to be something else. University seems like a good thing that it could be. Vinegar Syndrome UHD, that could be a possibility. That's actually a good idea because they already started doing UHD titles. Limited edition SOV. So you think, Jared, that maybe that they could do something along the lines of Intervision, like Severin's doing. Severin's really got the SOV like thing locked down with with Intervision. So I'm not quite sure how that would go, or how or what the market is, like how big of a market that would be. Vinegar Syndrome United. That is a possibility because as we do know, Vinegar Syndrome did do a whole big they're starting to get under other labels. AGFA is going under there. There's the Fun City Studios is going under there as well. That has that like really cool release. So it's really interesting to see where it's going to go. I'm excited to find out. I'm hoping we'll get some more kind of hints dropped. And if there is a VSU title, for instance, hopefully we will see that show up during their Black Friday sale, because normally that's when you're going to see something like that. Good idea for university. I'm the professor. I like that. Vinegar Syndrome underwear. I don't think we're going to get anything like that. We got the Severin pasties. I think that's about as close as it's going to get. So we're going to continue talking about that, but I'm going to start showing some of the Good Work as University, a podcast. I don't think that would be to announce that. I think they just announced that. I don't think that would be something that they'd have to make a big announcement for. I think that would be a bit of a letdown if it was we've got a big announcement and they put VSU down there at the end of their newsletter, and it's oh, it's a podcast. I don't think the world shook when Arrow Video did the podcast. It's a good podcast, but I don't think that's something you need a major announcement for. I think that's more of a kind of really a throwaway thing when it comes to that. But it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. Vinegar Syndrome Universe. That makes sense. And I never even thought about it. But they're branching out to doing Italian movies and Mexican horror. To see Vinegar Syndrome taking on more universal stuff, as in more stuff from around the world, global horror and exploitation, stuff like that, they could be branching out. So Vinegar Syndrome Universe could very much be something that they would do. The same with Underground. Somebody actually mentioned Vinegar Syndrome Underground. And that takes me back to the TCM Underground thing. Remember when Rob Zombie used to do that? I think it still goes on. But he did it for the first year or two. He was the curator and the host of it. But do you want to see some box sets? Do you want to dive into the collection? Okay, we can just say here. Okay, we can still talk about this stuff. The fan, the consumer. All right, so we're going to go into this. I don't have a particular theme for this stuff here, but I'm just gonna go in like randomly. I got like TV, I got animation, I got movies, so it's gonna be a bit of everything. So let's start off with some classic film noir, and actually some very classic film noir. So this is the Film Noir Classic Collection, and there are 5 timeless suspense thrillers on there, and these are some really great ones. When people ask me like some great places to start with film noir, if you've never collected film noir before, this set is a great place actually. If you can get this set, it is an excellent place to start with this. And I think it is a Warner Brothers, so there you go, because of the films that it has on it. We'll get that set. So Out of the Past is probably one of my favorite film noirs of all time. It's right here. Robert Mitchum. I'm going to get extremely pissed off at this here thing. It like disconnected on me twice. And I don't want to have to do what I did last time. Last time, by the way, I had to do a second video because what happened was I had to turn off my my iPad. My iPad was damaged, and so I'm running on borrowed time. Hey there, Ryan. I saw the Bugs Bunny one set and the Flintstone set as well. The Bugs Bunny still looks huge, and hopefully there are cartoons that we haven't seen yet. Not yet, but well, it was raining last night. We had like we had like thunder, or like really big thunder and lightning. Asphalt Jungle, Sterling Hayden. Got the setup with Robert Ryan. Gun Crazy, which is an excellent film. Excellent one with Peggy Cummings. I love that film. And last but definitely not least is Murder My Sweet with Dick Powell. It's very cool movie. I'm not going to go through all of them like this. 90s Superman series on blue. That is so cool. Everything's getting a Blu-ray, and I like it. This is volume... Oh, I'm doing them in the wrong order. This is volume 3. This is a really big volume and a really important one. Not like Border Incidents on this, Ladies Lake, Dangerous Grounds, but the most important thing on this volume that you have to know about is this right here. So if you've never collected film noir before, here is a great documentary in helping you like on your journey into collecting film noir called Bringing Darkness to Light. You've probably seen this come up sometime on TCM. It's been on there a few times. But to actually have a physical copy of this is utterly astounding. I actually love the fact that they had put that. I wish they would have put it in volume 1, but it's in volume 3. I wish I could say I watched a lot, Soul, but the truth of the matter is I work every day from like, well, I get in the morning, I get ready, go to work. I get off work at 5:30. I try to, if I'm making a video, then I don't get to watch a lot. I do try to watch at least one movie a day. When I have time off, and then it's usually around 2 to 3 movies a day. But you know, there's times I go, you know, this weekend me and my better half went to the beach, had a kind of like a couple's day, and went and had like supper afterwards. So if you saw my my Instagram, then you actually saw my better half, because I showed her on my Instagram. This is volume 2, and this has one of my all-time favorite movies, Narrow Margin, and Narrow Margin's fantastic. Also, is it Born to Kill, Lawrence Tierney? I think that's the one. If it is, then this is an utterly fantastic film. Yeah, I love this movie. Born to Kill is an excellent film, and basically Lawrence Tierney is this kind of he's a tough. He's not a good guy. He's not a nice guy, and he meets up with this girl, and he sees in her a kindred soul, somebody like him, somebody completely damaged, and that's going to damage others. It takes some nice twists and turns from there, and if you've never seen it, it is an amazing film, and I highly recommend that you check it out. All right, so I'm just going to do these in no particular order, just so you know. Next up is a big... I don't match them up against the Kino. Well, the Warner Brothers ones, like, I love the Kino ones. But the Warner Brothers ones, like some of those films are some of the classic, great film noirs of all time. The first 3 sets put up by Warner Brothers are top tier. That is Lawrence Tierney and Reservoir Dogs. Now, when I say top tier, that's not taking away from Kino. Kino is doing some amazing stuff, and they're putting a lot of the kind of like same way that like Vinegar Syndrome is putting out some of the Lost Giallos. Kino's putting out some like the other uh, the other kind of lost film noirs, but incredible either way. But you do need like those films in your collection, whether you buy them on Blu-ray separately from Warner Archives. He wasn't Elaine's father on Seinfeld, he was actually. Or if you buy them with the, or you buy them in those box sets. My Instagram is charmed007. Now, with Lawrence Tierney, he was a guy that was earmarked to have a big career, to do extremely well. But Lawrence Tierney is very much the rough edge in real life that you see on the screen, and that affected his career, unfortunately, because he was an extremely talented person. But you can tell he's a rough around the edges type of guy. So here is the Man from U.N.C.L.E., the complete series briefcase set. Very proud of this. I recently took every disc that's in this here and put it, and I took it out and put it into a case for traveling. Because, but for those that are unaware, on the inside, it kind of looks like this. So if you're a Man from U.N.C.L.E. fan, you're going to get a kick out of this. So what's neat is that it has all the seasons in here, and when you take out the seasons, there's a bonus disc hidden underneath the seasons, because of course it is. It's a spy series. Of course they're going to do that. But here is Man from U.N.C.L.E., the complete series, extremely well bound. I got to say, never ever had an issue with any binding or anything with this. Excellent stuff. Hey there. Robert Vine used to visit the library where we worked. Okay, next up was one that I was excited to get because I think, well, it was at the time out of print. It's probably around now to get. I'm not quite sure. But I used to really love this series when I was younger, and I would watch it all the time. My thing closed up on me, so I gotta open it up again. Is this right here. This is Tour of Duty, the complete series. Yep, that's Robert Vaughn. I think you have another series with him. Zombie Killing. So Tour of Duty, of course, it has the song Paint It Black from the Rolling Stones. That was its theme song. There were 3 seasons in all. And I love the show. I'm a big fan of Terrence Knox. I think he's an underrated actor. And he's really good in this. He was in the 5th season of the A-Team. He plays the guy that's kind of, he's a government liaison that comes in for the final season. Kind of to give them, basically to try and like mix it up a bit. All right, next up is the one that a lot of you guys I'm sure have, and that is the Universal Monsters Coffin box set. Now, if you're like me, then you're a big Universal Monsters fan. You want to get the Coffin set. Because I wanted it a specific way, I grabbed the one from the UK before it went out of print. And the reason I wanted the one from the UK is I'll actually show you. So if you have this set here from North America, then I'm gonna let you see like the biggest difference in both of those sets. And it's gonna be, if you have the other set, it's gonna be blatantly obvious immediately. So feature-wise, box-wise, it's pretty much the same thing. But you see what it is, Jesse, right? So if you don't have the North American set, the thing you should know is that on the North American set, it's just plain. It's just the words. Like if it's the Wolfman or Phantom of the Opera, it's just the words. It's like, I'm not sure if it's black or gray, something like that. But this here actually has the pictures on there, which is the way to have it. I do want to get the big set, the one you're talking about, eventually down the road. The 30 one. My cousin actually got that, but he bought the DVD edition so that he could actually put them onto his computer as well, so that when he was traveling, he could watch them. But this is the Universal Monsters Essential Collection set on Blu-ray from the UK, because there's pictures on the discs, and I like pictures. The only other coffin set that I have in my collection, and I briefly showed this one off in a previous video, but I'll show you here, is the Blind Dead collection put out by, I think it's Anchor Bay. Do any of my family collect movies? My dad, not so much as he used to before, but he definitely is a movie collector. My mom, not so much. My kids, they have their own collecting things. Some people got their Severino orders. Mine hasn't shipped yet. Mine's still in processing. I don't expect to get mine for about a month. But like with the way things are going right now, I did a trade with Death Bomb. He's not on here today, but the way that things are going, it's taken forever to come my way, and I sent mine out like a week late, and he got his because it goes faster going through than it's coming here. So this has Night of the Seagulls. I love this artwork, by the way. The Ghost Galleon. Tombs of the Blind Dead. Isn't this amazing artwork? Just look at that artwork. It's Blue Underground, not Anchor Bay. Sorry about that, guys. Return of the Evil Dead. Oh, it's going to be at least a month to get that stuff sent out. And there's a special disc on the director Armando de Osorio, who of course did the films. And there's a really cool Knights of Terror book on here as well. So, magazine, style book. The Blue Underground, yeah. I said Anchor Bay at first, Warlock, because maybe I'm doing it on purpose to keep. No, I'm not doing it on purpose. I will make mistakes every video, and you guys gotta catch me on those mistakes. Or I could pretend that I'm totally doing it on purpose, and I'd be lying. All right, so not as big a box set, but still something that I wanted to show because it's a fun little curio, and that is Walking Tall, the TV series. So there was a short-lived TV series with Bo Svensson. So yeah, Walking Tall made 3 movies, and then they made a TV show out of it. I think it's the first or second episode. All right. I'm not happy with that. We'll see how it goes. If it keeps going like this will be a shorter video than planned. He's fighting a lot of bad guys, but there's almost these kind of after-school special moments in some of these. Drugs are bad for you, Jimmy. Let's talk about that. Also, he's going to hit somebody with a stick, at least once in the episodes. Fun show. Didn't last very long. I mean, 7 episodes for the complete series. I actually don't. There's a set that Shout Factory put out that I want to get, but I haven't picked it up yet. All right. Yeah, definitely on my geekier side. This is the TV show for the original series Land of the Lost, and there's all 3 seasons here. I got them in the wrong order though, so I'm going to take that out and fix that right now. So if you haven't seen Land of the Lost, it was a Saturday morning program that came on and had kind of like monsters and Neanderthal people and dinosaurs and stuff. So, cheesy, special effects, but really fun. Oh, you can, by the way, you can severely pass up the Will Ferrell movie and never see that. Just watch this. It's fun, and for me it stood the test of time. The What really peeved me out was that the only special feature on here is about the movie that was coming out at the time with Will Ferrell, and yeah, that's not a great movie. All right, let's get into some classic stuff again before we go back to the other stuff. Okay, so next up is a Bette Davis set collection, Volume 2. I'm a huge Bette Davis fan, and there are some great films on here. There's Marked Woman, Old Acquaintance, The Man Who Came to Dinner, Jezebel, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which is a 2-disc set, and Stardust, the Bette Davis story. So there's a documentary here on Bette Davis as well, so which is pretty fantastic. Too much to The Rock. Well, it gets worse because Kevin Sorbo did one right after The Rock. But Jezebel is a classic, like Bette Davis film. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. So Bette Davis Volume 2. I'll go through the classic stuff fairly fast because I'm not quite sure how many of you guys like the classic stuff that I like. All right, so here is W.C. Fields Complete Collection Volume 2. And I'm a big W.C. Fields fan. I like classic comedy more than modern day comedy. So this has You're Telling Me, The Old-Fashioned Way, Man on the Flying Trapeze, that's a good one. Poppy is a good one. And Never Give a Sucker an Even Break, which is an excellent film. But what's really, really good on here is I'm Canadian, and there is a documentary on W.C. Fields on this disc. But it's not just any documentary. It is a documentary that is hosted by Wayne and Schuster. So if you're not familiar with Wayne and Schuster, they were a comedy duo from here in Canada. They were Ed Sullivan's favorite comedy duo, and he kept trying to get them to come over to the US, but they love Canada. They were very smart, and the humor still plays well today because they didn't talk down, or they didn't just do things that were topical at the time. It was Johnny Wayne and Frank Schuster, and if the name Schuster sounds kind of familiar, that's because his cousin would be one of the creators of the comic book Superman, which was Siegel and Schuster. So yes, that's the Frank Schuster is the cousin of Jerry Siegel, who created the character of Superman. So a little Wayne and Schuster. So Johnny Wayne and Frank Schuster. Definitely, if you've never looked up any of their stuff, like look them up online because they are really good, and their comedy was. They were smart. Like they wouldn't just like pick like the latest film, or how Saturday Night Live usually pick a lot of we'll pick like a lot of stuff that's in the movies or stuff that's in TV, and they'll kind of satirize that, and that'll be their thing. With Wayne and Schuster, they would satirize like books and classic cinema, and they did like the Scarlet Pimpernel. They did like the I think the Brown Pumpernickel or something like that, which was actually really good. But Dave remembers Wayne and Schuster, so you rock, dude. I love Lauren Hardy. A lot of people actually, when they see Wayne and Schuster, don't realize they are Canadian. Like there's certain things that you'll see, and you'll watch, and you know right away. It's like, okay, that is Canadian. Wayne and Schuster, not so much, and that's probably because a lot at the time, especially in the early years, Ed Sullivan would have them. We would be constantly bringing them over to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. So I guess if people like over in the U.S., for instance, hadn't seen Wayne and Schuster over in Canada, then they would maybe assume that they were from the Smith and Smith. That's very Canadian. It's a very Smith and Smith Comedy Mill, Red Green. That I'm starting to get peeved, guys. Starting to get peeved. Anyway, we'll go. Looks like I'm going to start going faster with this because I don't know what is going on with the connection here. I want to take my iPad and break it in half, but then I won't have anything to talk to you guys on. All right, so this is Game of Thrones, the complete first season. So this is just the first season. But what's neat about this is it has a neat little thing on the inside. And I'll show you. So anybody that has this knows this already. But if you are a Game of Thrones fan, then you're going to know the dragon eggs. So it has a dragon egg, kind of like, I guess. And this is heavy as heck too, by the way. I'm going to take this out. I guess you, I don't know. And no, that's not like chipped or anything. That's the way the egg is. Just to show you, this is the complete first season, and it had kind of a neat thing here. Like at the time, it was a big deal. So season 2, episode 1 was like, there's a bonus. HBO's always doing that with their shows, like putting like other shows or like first episodes of like the next season into the box sets. Do we have all the other seasons? I do not. I only have the first. I only have the first, actually. I got to get the rest. But this one was so unique. This is one of those sets that I got from the guy that I mentioned before when I bought a bunch, like his whole collection. And so this was, again, like much, this was like $20. As was my Harry Potter set, which I will keep. Although, screw J.K. Rowling. Just putting that in. All right. This is a big one, guys. You ready? So this is Hawaii Five-0, the complete series. This is the original Hawaii Five-0 with Jack Lord. They put out 2 sets of Hawaii Five-0. One was a smaller box set, but if you bought the bigger set, it came with was what political? The J.K. Rowling comment? I don't think so. It's Decent Human Being. What's my opinion on the new Hawaii Five-0? I like it. I haven't seen much. I've seen a lot of it, but what I've seen, I've liked. So I was impressed with that. So here's the inside of the box. I think this ran for like 11 seasons, like somewhere around there. So when you take it out, I took all these discs out, by the way, to go over to Morocco. Yeah. So the first 6 seasons are right here. What's really neat about a Hawaii Five-0 is like, if you're a villain in a Hawaii Five-0 and you're not like that villain that's going to be throughout the entire series, you're dead. Like you're like super dead. 12 seasons. Thank you, IB. Because especially in the early seasons, he's like, "Oh look, there's a villain down there. I think I'll shoot him from my helicopter." Not even joking. He's like, "There's like, oh, that person's killed like some people. I think I'll shoot him from my helicopter." Did that all the time. So the neat thing about this one here is that this particular set has a bonus disc in it that is not available in the other set. There was a disc that's specific to this set, and because all the discs are taken out now and put in for travel. So I'll show you right there what I mean. That's where it would be. That's the bonus disc right here. The bonus disc has on it and a documentary called Hawaii Now, Hawaii Five-0. It's a vintage documentary. There is a Hawaii Five-0 syndication. There's some sales reels there. Jack Lord on the Michael Douglas Show. A clip from In the Winner's Circle, a 1968 CBS Fall preview show. And that's the one Book 'em Down. An Inside Edition segment. And there's some Entertainment Tonight segments on there as well. So, just some neat little things to have on there as, as bonus. Now, different actors left throughout the series. So, a famed bad guy actor, actually, and an actual tough guy, William Smith, is in the last season of Hawaii Five-0, and I'm a huge William Smith fan, so that's... big reason for me to pick it up. So it's a heavy set, even though this taken out. All right, and a not so heavy set, but an extremely good one. And I used to love this show when I was a kid. I would watch it all the time, and much better than the film that would later be made of it. And this is the Wild Wild West. And again, I love the show. So it's basically James Bond meets cowboy. And when it came out, gave it like a little episode guide, and the discs were put in these two like holster things. So the discs were in holsters. And it has all 4 seasons, and it does have the bonus disc does have the movies. So there's Wild Wild West Revisited, and more Wild Wild West, which was the one done in 1980, and there's promo spots on there as well. So you get a bit of everything. No, not the Will Smith movie, because that was not good. There's 2 TV movies that were done for the series. Some people like the Will Smith movie, I think, but not me. Not much. I'm not big on it anyway. All right. I'm going back and forth between some classic and some like TV mega sets. So next up is the Joan Crawford collection. I'm a big, love the classic actresses. This has my favorite Joan Crawford movie on it, called Humoresque. Hey, welcome, CK. We're going through a lot of stuff here, which we're going to be talking more about Vinegar Syndrome at the end there with the VSU, and maybe we'll mention the Paramount stuff as well. Possessed is on here, The Women, The Damned Don't Cry, and Mildred Pierce. So 5 excellent films, and if you have not seen them, these are classic films. You should see these things. Especially Humoresque stars John Garfield as a promising violinist who meets and falls in love with Joan Crawford, who was much older than him, and she is, without purposefully doing it, his life is basically it's being ruined by being with her, and it's a tragic film. Okay, my favorite, hands down, my show, the show I grew up with, my childhood, the show that nobody can ever diss, and that is this one right here, Robotech. So this is a complete series. So this is a complete Macross series. So it has basically the Macross Saga, the Masters, the New Generation, and Archives. So if you've never seen Robotech, watch it. It's really good. Robotech, for a lot of people, especially around my age, was kind of like their introduction to anime, long before Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon or Cowboy Bebop or any of that stuff. Robotech and Astro Boy were pretty much your anime connection. That was your hookup here in North America. So there is it's the original series, and this is Rick Hunter, who would be like the big star of the show. Now, in actuality, the 3 different Robotech series really have nothing to do with one another. They're very different shows. Speed Racer was your guy? This is not on Blue, actually. But here's the thing. And I think it's Heath said it. Yeah, it was Heath that said it. If you wait for a show to come on Blue to buy that show may never get a Blu-ray release. Because if nobody bought it on DVD, they're not gonna remaster it to Blue. And I do recommend this set. What's really great about this set is this right here. It actually has a whole set, like aside from the series, it gets a whole, like, it's not one disc, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 disc set of bonus features. So there are 4 discs of bonus features on here. And it has like so much stuff. Documentaries, music videos, alternate versions of episodes, supplements from from the movie, the original 70-minute pilot. But definitely check this out. This is a really good set. And if you can get your hands on it, grab it, because any version of this one has this exclusive bonus disc set. Not bonus disc, but 4 bonus discs. So a complete bonus disc set. Okay. Next up here we'll go with this one, which is Blu-ray. And I grabbed this one for because I have the indicator ones, but I got these because I wanted to have these as well, and for teaching purposes, because they have French subtitles on the ones that I want to teach, and that's a big deal when I'm going to be teaching in Morocco, where people speak French. And that is the Ray Harryhausen collection. And it came from Beneath the Sea, Earth versus the Flying Saucers, 20 Million Miles to Earth, and the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. If, for instance, subtitles are important to you, then this is the set to have. Even if you have the indicator editions of this, they do not include subtitles. Well, they include probably only English subtitles. Hey, the River. But there are subtitles in different languages. English, French, Portuguese, Arabic, Spanish, Korean, Japanese, Hindi, Thai. So there's all kinds of like languages on this. This set is invaluable for if you know people that speak different languages, or if you want if you're learning a language and you want to check it out, you want to do that. You want to be one of those people that's actually watching it with the different languages. It's cool. But the statue, my dad has that one actually, Warlock. It's a really cool set. And I think it's like this one. So you probably have all the subtitles as well, which is amazing. Favorite show of mine is Cracker. I always love this show. Future Doctor Who in this series as well, by the way. But an incredible series. I actually didn't mind the North American remake. Wasn't half as good as the Robbie Coltrane one, but still was interesting in and of its own right. And this has every episode. And as you know, these are kind of like movie length. Some of these kind of continued over. Men Should Weep is a really good episode. And To Say I Love You, I think that's the one with the with the couple that's killing, like that's doing spree killing. That's a really great episode as well. But excellent show. Heck, smokes. What is Cracker about? Well, basically, his Cracker is Fritz, and Fritz is he's a psychologist. He's an amazing psychologist that's brought into the police station, and it's his job to crack people. So when you see like a TV show and they have people like in the waiting room, in the room to be and they're being interviewed and stuff like that. Well, he's a cracker. He can decipher. He can find if somebody's actually the killer. He can break him down. He can actually get into his mind the psychological aspect of the killer. But what that does to him is it makes him a crappy dad and a crappy husband who's had affairs, and he's trying to get his life back together. And it's a fantastic show. Here it says on here. Fitzgerald is an insulting, nosy, loathsome individual who's a drunken excuse for a husband, a lousy father, and a gambling washout, but he's one saving grace. He's a brilliant psychologist with uncanny ability to see evil in people, make them confess, and walk away unscathed. He seems to understand the criminal mind, most probably because his mind isn't that far removed from the criminals that he deals with. No, it's not a racial slur. It means he cracks criminals. All right, so next up is my better half's favorite sci-fi show, and that is Farscape. It's pissing me off, guys. One of the best things about the show, one of the absolute best things that I love about the show, is that it's this episode that's based on Looney Tunes. I'm not kidding. The episode is completely animated, and it's really cool. Got to keep watching, Dave. You really do, because it's got such great world building, and for like sci-fi, that's the key is the world building. Same with Babylon 5. You got to stick with it because there's some really good stuff. All right, I'm going to do this a bit faster. I think I already showed this one. Space 1999, the complete series. 17 discs, both seasons. Again, an Annie release, so you're gonna get like a bunch of like really cool features on here as well. And love this show. I grew up with Space 1999. As you can see, I'm going a little bit faster because this reconnecting is getting on my nerves. Next up is Irwin Allen's, and this is a Blu-ray set, Lost in Space. I'm a huge fan of this series. It is cheesy. It is fun. Of course, there was the movie, but then there was the the Netflix series as well, which I haven't seen all of. What year? Space 99 was in the 70s, because I used to watch it. Yeah, 70, 75, and 76, I'd say. So, I love special features. Special features are like, I grew up like before I got into films, before the books were around, before the movies were around, I used to read books on cinema as well. So for me, like special features are key. Like it's important to have because it's almost like getting that like those books that I used to read when I was younger on cinema, have them come to life for me on the screen. All right, so someone mentioned this one early on, and here it is. And this is one of those cases like one I will say, can you buy you can buy, like when I showed you the first thing at the beginning of this video, if you're here at the beginning, you saw me show Power Rangers and the Mega Set. And I always get the Mega Set and you say, well, why won't you buy the single releases of them? Because there's extra features on the Mega Set. This is one of the biggest cases of extra features on a Mega Set. And that is the Get Smart, the complete series. So Get Smart, I'll show you this opens up here. I won't take the discs things out, but anyway, so if you can buy every season of Get Smart. There's 5 seasons altogether on its own. I'll just open up, show you guys what it looks like. But before you do that, there's one thing you should know. Every single set of Get Smart has a bonus disc. Every single set. Now, the other thing you should know is that when these were broken up and put out separately on their own, so if you buy a season on its own, the bonus disc is not included. So the only way to get the bonus disc in the Get Smart series, like from any of the seasons, because there's 5 bonus discs, 1 for each season. If you bought this. If you bought this, you're going to get the bonus disc for all 5 seasons. You get a bonus disc for every season of the show. If you bought the sets separately on their own, like because you put them out like afterwards, then that is the kind of the feature, the special feature free version of that, and they never changed that up afterwards. So the only way to get the special features was in this set, and I don't know if it's still available. If it is, it's definitely one to look for if you're a Get Smart fan, because there's some neat special features. Cone of Silence, I love that. All right, I was asked about these, so I thought I'd bring them out to show you guys, because you guys, Mr. Awesome, I like your name. Wondered how geeky obviously I'm super geeky, right? But this is Transformers, and I love Transformers. This is the Shout Factory set. I have, of course, the movie. Any other Transformers fans here? Missed it by this much. No other Transformers at all? Of like the cartoon, not those awful Michael Bay films. Like dead silence. Like nobody likes Transformers. What did you do with your childhood? So the Transformers. So Transformers is an excellent show. But also, what else was excellent is this right here, Beast Wars, Transformers Beast Wars. So I just need to get the Japanese, the other one, Transformers set. But this is the Beast Wars series, and this is actually really good. All these were put up by Shout Factory, by the way. Not so much. I mean, the first movie, the second movie were meh or okay. I did like the Bumblebee film. That was actually a little bit better. But most of the Transformers movies are pretty much, they're Michael Bay. And not good Michael Bay. And they're not like The Rock Michael Bay. They're like Michael Bay at like Pearl Harbor Michael Bay. It doesn't really like capture the feel of the series in my opinion. And I think it was Cubic Lever that mentioned like these sets, but here is the Warner Brothers Gangsters collection. So this is volume 4, and this one has the documentary Public Enemies, the golden age of the gangster films. So I definitely had to buy that one. The movies on here are The Little Giant, Larceny Incorporated, Kid Galahad, Invisible Stripes, and The Amazing Dr. Clitterhouse. See, I never grew up, so I still watch the Transformers cartoon series. Andy, you rock. And this is volume 2, which does have more classic ones. We got like Each Dawn I Die, City for Conquest. Hopefully this will come back on. All right. I'm almost done. In many ways right now. But because I've only got a couple more sets to go. I had planned to talk more, and we'll see if it disconnects again. I'll probably end the video, but I'm super peeved about the whole disconnection thing tonight, and this is kind of getting to me. All right, another Shout Factory release. Actually, the last two are Shout Factory releases as well. So we started with Shout Factory when I unboxed Power Rangers down here, and this is Jem and the Holograms. It is truly, truly, truly outrageous. Please ignore the live-action Jem movie. And I can't see the old messages because my phone is kind of almost dead, so I'm missing out on messages. So if there's any messages from before, I do apologize, but I can't see them right now. Isn't this glittery? If you've never seen Jem the Holograms, the cartoon, it was really cool. Your kid sister probably watched it. I don't know actually, because I've never actually watched a stream like a live stream like that, like afterwards. Usually, I usually watch them. Good pleasure. The original series is cool too, and it's especially good because you get the Misfits in that. So this is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. You guys know I have a T-shirt. I do love this set. Huh. All right. Is that they have the PSAs on here as well. And knowing is half the battle. Jem and Dad has some good songs. And the neat thing about Jem is they put out like these Jem kind of Barbie figures where they would have like a little like you get tapes with Jem songs on it. There, Daniel. I am getting peeved. All right, so that's all the sets that we're doing for tonight. I do apologize for technical issues that we've had throughout here. I want to thank everybody that stayed with me throughout this, even though this continuing disconnecting happened a few times. I'm not quite sure what happened on your side, if it just froze up for a second or seemed like a glitch. But for me, what happened on my side is it completely and totally went. So, well, you guys probably saw me freeze up for a second. Hopefully, could you still hear me when it was still frozen? So, 'cause, 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 ' Yeah, Jim was kind of original Hannah Montana with more action and bad guys. Could you guys hear me when it was still frozen? No? Okay, good. Because I was swearing a lot during that plane. So I'm kind of glad you couldn't hear me then. That's not even a joke. That's true. But with that being said, at a short 61 minutes, which is long for most people's videos, but not long for mine. Next time I come on, guys, we will talk about the Paramount releases. We will talk about the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. We will try and figure out what VSU is. I do apologize. I had planned to make this about twice the length that this video is right now because I wanted to really dive in deep and talk about that stuff. But we got that for the next video. Have a great night. I am Aaron. This is my movie library. You're the Call to Cinema. You guys never upset me. You guys are awesome. A crappy iPad internet connection is upsetting me, especially now that I've got like more expensive internet. Well, not more expensive, but like I cut out cable TV and stuff just to have better internet. What's the next collection video going to be? I'm not quite sure, but before we start it, I'm probably going to talk Vinegar Syndrome stuff, so you never know. It could be anything. I'll see you soon. I have some stuff coming. Depending on when it comes, I'll be doing some unboxings as well. The Severance stuff's still a long ways off. I've got like the Jello bundle coming, and I have some stuff coming from a friend of mine from Vinegar Syndrome stuff. And before we disconnect, have a great evening.